If you've ever wondered why so many men seem to hate women with OnlyFans account despite being the consumer that creates the demand for that product in the first place, I'm going to make it real simple for you. And it's not about the content itself. These men do not care about the nudity or the sexual acts themselves, because a dizzying amount of these men will ask a woman for nude pictures, and if she responds that she has an OnlyFans account and he can go subscribe if he wants to see that, then he starts screaming about how she's a whore and she's a disgrace and her parents must hate her for doing the exact same thing that he wanted her to do for free 3 minutes ago. What they can't stomach is the exchange of power that OnlyFans represents.
Exactly. Listen.
The fact that the man pays money and the woman benefits financially from the transaction. They hate hoes, but they don't hate pimps.
Listen.
Because they identify with the pimps. They hate the idea of a woman sleeping with a man.
By the way, this is why they loved Andrew Tate, but they hated the types of women that he talked about, but were okay with him exploiting those women. Listen.
To get a promotion, but they don't hate the idea of a man withholding a promotion until a woman sleeps with him because they identify with that man. It's all about the exchange of power, because if you have to pay to see a woman naked, it means you're not entitled to it.
Listen.
And at the core of this mentality is a belief that women's sexual agency does not belong to them and is not theirs to exercise in whatever way they choose.
I want you all to remember when Erykah Badu and her daughter had their booties towards the camera when Erykah Badu posted it. Remember people like Snoop Dogg who made songs about face down, ass up, and all this other stuff, right? He made songs. I did a video on this. If it were an album cover that he had put out, he wouldn't have had a problem with it. But he had a problem with Erykah putting that image out of her and her daughter. Why? Because of the agency. This guy puts it all together perfectly.
It belongs to the father until she meets a nice man that he approves of, and then there's a transfer of ownership of her sexual agency from father to husband. That's why you'll see so many men in these comment sections on videos like that saying that if it was their daughter with the OnlyFans account, she would be physically abused, psychologically abused, alienated, disowned, kicked out onto the street. And they will claim that it's out of love and concern for her as her father that they would do something like that. But I'm having a tough time seeing that, since in every single way, physically, emotionally, psychologically, all of those things do far more harm than her simply having an OnlyFans account that she makes money off of. So it's not about her at all. It's about them being terrified as being seen as less of a man by other men. They're worried about how it reflects on them that their daughter exercises her own sexual agency in whatever way she chooses. Because they're looking at it like, dude, that's authority over a woman's sexual agency on easy mode. That's your daughter. You raised her. If you can't get her to do whatever the you want, whenever the you want, how are you ever going to control another woman?
Exactly. Thank you.
If you've ever wondered why so many men seem to hate women with OnlyFans accounts,
thank you. This is what it was all about from the very beginning. In this book right here, The Creation of the Patriarchy, the author talks about how men privatized women's labor. I haven't gotten through the entire book, but I'm sure the book answers this question here. This is all about men having ownership of women's sexuality, from the father to the husband, and you never having the chance to own your own. Why? Because they don't really want you to want them. I was thinking about this before I did this video. They don't want you to want them because they know that they are not, S-H-I-T. They know that they lower your value. However, they still want to try to trick you out of your possession. They want to feel like they have one up on you. They don't want you to have agency and control over your own and exploit them for the simps that they don't want to be seen as, the tricks that they don't want to be seen as. This is why they have no issue paying that money if a person like Andrew Tate is pimping them. Oh no, that's because the money is exchanging hands from a man to a man. And the woman, well, she's submitting. She just really couldn't help herself. But when you have agency, you're not submitting to any man. You're taking agency and you are the one profiting, so that they are in the position of coming to you begging for access to just see and whiff. Men don't have a problem submitting to other men, but many of them seem to have a problem with submitting to women, even though any woman who has ever been in a relationship with a man or any woman who has ever been pursued by a man, we know that men are quite submissive to women 2 times in a relationship. And when is that? When he's trying to get her. And we saw Judge Mathis's video where he was coming out crying, whining, moaning, begging, complaining, fist fighting in the air and sliding down the wall, talking about his wife getting ready to leave him. When are the 2 times that a man is most submissive to a woman openly and unapologetically? When he's trying to pursue her and when he's trying to keep her. Other than that, he's expecting for you to submit to what? Submit to what? I guess what they want is for the natural order to be that they have to prove themselves, right, to another man to gain your favor. But once they've got you or purchased you or whatever, then you submit to them. But then when they want to try to keep you, that's when they get down on their knees, groveling, begging, grabbing onto your ankles, getting all types of pistolas and all that other stuff to try to stop you from leaving. Because they know that it reflects badly on their ability. They talk about how you can't keep a man. Oh, but how many of them couldn't keep their woman? We saw Judge Mathis. We knew, and then he did what the F it is that he needed to do so that he wasn't out here with his face hung down low talking about how he couldn't keep his woman satisfied. Listen.
Be a part of the live show with thousands of other viewers. Go to TanyaTKO.com/text and join the text notification squad and get a text whenever I go live. Support the show and yourself, and I'll see you on the next live broadcast.